Hey, Super Zuper with you one more time for some memories of Super Zuper, Episode 3, titled The Night from Hell. The Duke and BB show was maybe a year or two into its run when we got our first road gig. It seems the Bay St. Louis Yacht Club was planning on having a Saturday night sock hop for its members, and they contacted the station about having us spin the tunes for their dance. So when the day arrived, Gene got a lift to Duke and BB's house from Gretna. The wife and I arrived from Araby. Now, Duke had previously borrowed a couple of turntables, a mixer, an amp, and some microphones and the cables from the station. We all left Duke's house, I'd say about 5:30 for the 8 o'clock dance. Now, let me tell you about the yacht club. It's right on the Gulf of Mexico. I mean, like 3 feet from the Gulf and the water's edge. So the floor of the club is like 30 feet above ground. The floor appeared to be of heavy plywood with steel cross members underneath. Now, remember this because it's important to the story. We stopped on the way and grabbed some burgers, ate on the way. Well, I said we got there about 7:15, and we brought all the equipment upstairs, like 2 flights of stairs, and set up for the show. Well, as with any dance, it took like a half hour, 45 minutes for everybody to get moving on the dancing. So now we're talking about 8:30 before the dance really got started, but it didn't last long. When the couple started dancing, the plywood floor started moving up and down, and so did the needle on Duke's records. Now, Duke really valued his records, and he ain't afraid to tell you that. So after some negotiations, it was mutually decided this wasn't going to work. So we broke everything down and loaded it back in the van. Then we went back upstairs because some of them club members wanted photos and autographs with us, which we gladly did. I think it was the first time I actually signed an autograph for somebody. Now, I'd say it was about 9:30 when we left the yacht club, but the night was far from being over. We just got off to the Lake Bridge in the very eastern New Orleans, I'd say maybe 30 yards from the edge of the bridge, when the van lost power. Duke quickly pulled over to the shoulder, and we were talking maybe 10 o'clock or later. Just when we thought we couldn't get any worse, the rain started. Now, all Duke had with him was a used garbage bag, which he held over his head after he got out to try and flag down some help. After what seemed like 3 years, but it was really only 45 minutes, a black Trans Am pulled over and Duke got in, the car sped away. We didn't know if we'd ever see Duke again, and BB was visibly worried. So me, Gene, and the wife convinced her to get a little shut-eye. We took turns looking at the cars whizzing by. Well, it wasn't long before Gene was sleeping too. After several hours, the rain stopped, and not long after, the Trans Am returned with a tow truck, and we got to it back to Duke's house. I thought soon I can get some sleep, but since Gene got a ride to Duke's place earlier, he had no way home, and the van wasn't working. So I went to bring him home via the UEP Long, but there was a bad accident on the bridge, so it was closed. I had to double back to the GNO to get to Gretna before I could go home to Araby. I believe I got home around daybreak that Sunday morning. It was the longest thing I ever slept at one time. So, that's the end of that one. Stay tuned for more memories of Super Zuper. See you then. Bye.